Would like to say a very auspicious welcome back. You seem what you call rejuvenated, refreshed. Obviously, had a wonderful reset, and you're looking like you're ready to just take on whatever comes your way right now.
You
How-
are so right. I
yeah.
mean, you are reading everything as if you're in my mind. You know what's happening. And, sometimes resets are good. It's good to plug in and,
It is
do
important.
you,
Do
plug
you?
out, and do you, and then
Definitely.
return. Yes.
I don't think I could agree with you anymore. It is important that you create a space where you can have a reset of self and also be able to just unwind, maybe not take yourself too seriously, be able to go out, have a good time, because sometimes the routine that you normally have is quite rigorous and it is important. And this is just a general mode of thought. People, relax. When your body tells you something, answer it, because you see how people just drop down dead like flies. Some of them are overstressed, overworked, and we need to preserve ourselves. So it's a good thing that you do, and I'm going to take a page out of your book very soon.
Look, okay.
Very soon.
Very, and Bones, if we should just live by the simple mantra which you say all the time, do things in moderation. Balance is important. Balance is vital.
Yes.
If you live by that, you will not wait until your body runs out of fuel or you feel as if you can no longer go on. You'll realize that if you're working too much, you really need to reset, relax, rejuvenate, and do it all over again.
I absolutely agree with that. I treat my body like I treat cars. One, I never allow my tank to go below half. It is always tapped up. And if you do that with yourself, meaning you realize you're running slightly low, but your low is your standard. You can be totally empty if that's your standard, or you can have it half, or you can have it three quarters and keep filling up, making sure that you're always
Yes.
fresh. So that is me. Right?
Well said. Well said. Of course, as usual, we have an exciting show planned, and we're going to be jumping into some hot topics shortly. A lot has happened. One of the things that happened this week, we know that tributes continue to pour in following the death of popular comedian Winston Bello Bell, and members of the Jamaica theatre community, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, government officials, and fans have been expressing condolences following the death of the actor and comedian who was best known for being one half of the gifted comedic duo Bello and Blacker. Now, on Instagram, Prime Minister Andrew Holness remembered Bello as an exceptionally talented actor, comedian, and prominent Jamaican. And the PM Bones also expressed condolences to his family. Did you know Bello?
I tell you the truth, I knew him very well. And one of the things that made me feel sad about hearing about his passing, he was actually a very, very good friend of my sister. One of the things, it's Bello and Blacker, that duo.
Yes.
So they would always fly through the Fort Lauderdale airport. And my sister works at the airport. So they became very good friends because they would be passing through the airport from time to time. And she would say, they invited me to the show that they're having, or they're doing this and they're doing that. And she would take pictures with them and so on. And when I told her, she was like, oh, my goodness, because she was heartbroken. No, Bello was just an amazing person. The same person that you would see, the comedian side. That was him in real life.
And, I don't know if you saw Blacker Ellis's post. He shared a picture, a black and white picture on his social media, his Instagram page, to be exact, of himself and Bello, which he captioned, quote, Winston Alexander Bell, I have too many stories to tell. End quote. And that short message, I think, is so loaded.
Yes.
You can almost feel the emotions and just, what he's perhaps going through, losing Bello.
If for the folks who are watching online, if they see me disappear from off the screen, we seem to have had a mic issue. So they were saying they weren't hearing me. So I am now in studio, the Studio A. So it's really sad about Bello, and condolences to his family. And we wish, we ask him to just hold strong, keep the head up, keep the faith. It's always difficult to lose a loved one.
No, absolutely.
So big up. And of course, we'll be hearing more information about arrangements and so on, apparently from his family. And we'll probably get it in the press also. So once again, condolences to the family of Bello. Really great guy, really great person. And of course, another stalwart has gone. And we seem to be losing them a lot, though. It's not good. It's not
No,
good.
for real. And on another sad note, Bones, we understand that Ricky Trooper's daughter, Brianna Destiny McCoy, we understand that, she was murdered, and we understand that the suspect is now in custody. In an Instagram post on Monday, Ricky Trooper shared a picture of the wanted poster edited to read, "In custody." According to the international media, 41-year-old Derek Francis was arrested in Ohio and will be charged with the murder of Brianna Destiny McCoy when he's extradited to Connecticut. And according to police, Derek, also known as Ainsley Forbes, was dating Brianna at the time of her death, and police also said that they had previously responded to incidents involving the couple. And on the morning of April 6th, news surfaced that Brianna McCoy was found fatally shot around 11 a.m. after residents reported hearing gunfire followed by the sound of a car speeding away.
Wow.
She was 23 years old, and a GoFundMe account has been set up to help support Brianna's 16-month-old son.
As I say,
Tough.
we have to live for now, live our lives to the fullest, because more often than not, and more often than ever, we see people just passing, people you see right now, and the next day or the next hour or the next few minutes, they're gone because of something either very tragic or something very large in terms of what just happened. So we have to just really appreciate what we are. And I wanted to send condolences once again
to Ricky Trooper and the entire family.
He's always very supportive of Area FM all the time.
Always.
Yes. So Ricky, condolences from the entire Area FM family, because we know how you've always been supporting us, and it is just a tragedy for the loss of your daughter, and we just want to pray for you and hope that you will hold strong, keep your head up, and keep going through, my brother.
No, absolutely. And we know it's easier said than done.
Very
I want
much.
to say a special good night to Zay. Hi, Zay. How are you? Bless up yourself and big up. That is little Zay. I'm talking about DJ Brian's son. Bless up to Zay. We understand that Zay is locked into the EBUZZ.
All right, Zay, big up yourself, youth. All right, so big up yourself, Zay. All right, and Beanie Man launches Pinky initiative to help dancehall queen Carlene's sister beat cancer, and we need US $50,000. So King of the Dancehall Beanie Man is using his influence to rally support for Pinky, the sister of his former spouse, dancehall queen Carlene Smith. Carlene recently detailed Pinky's battle with stage 4 cancer while speaking with Irie FM. Now, yesterday, Beanie Man took to his Instagram story to share the Pinky initiative, a campaign geared towards raising funds for her. Now, in the Instagram story, Beanie Man noted that his foundation has launched the initiative to help raise $50,000 to save her life. He noted that doctors have said she can be saved, whilst highlighting that she was one of the first women to make her mark in dancehall. Today, Beanie Man went on his IG to, among other things, urge persons to make donations through the Beanie Man Foundation. Pinky has appeared in several music videos for artists including Beanie Man, Tiger, and duo Shakademus and Pliers. So, Beanie Man, kudos to you for the initiative. And I keep saying the same thing. You realize if it's not somebody dying, it's somebody sick. If it's not somebody sick, somebody not doing well. We need to live and live our lives to the full. Live, laugh, love. Maximum style. And we only wish that Pinky will be able to fight the cancer and get over it. Because I said the doctor says she can be saved.
Yes.
So let us hope.
And her sister, kudos to Carlene as well.
Yes.
Dancehall Queen Carlene, because she has been going over and beyond just to ensure that her sister gets the right treatment and, having all these charitable events, to get the assistance that they need. So I know that she's there with her every step of the way. And, we truly hope that they will get the result that they need and the support,
It is very important. And once again, so Carlene and Beanie Man, we thank you. And of course, big up to Pinky. You will get through this. The doctor says she can be helped. So let us get to that $50,000 that they need to get the treatment done and get her living her life again, because cancer is no joke in any way. I mean, a lot of people have it. Cancer is more prevalent than anything these days. Why? I don't know, but it is out there, and we need to be able to treat it.
Our Hot Topics phones. Now, Grammy-winning entertainer and author Ziggy Marley will make an appearance on Disney Plus' latest series, Muppets Mayhem. Now, Muppets Mayhem is an upcoming comedy musical series based on the Muppet musical group Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem. And also, that there is a big 420 celebration that is happening, and Ziggy and his brothers Stephen, Damian, Julian, and Kemani will come together today. Well, this happened later. It's happening today and also tomorrow for an unforgettable debut at Red Rocks Amphitheater in what is being dubbed 420 Soul Shakedown Celebration. The Marley brothers will perform classic songs from their dad's catalog as well as their originals. And guess what? Our very own Tristan Wilson is actually in Colorado and will give us, the happenings. We are going to be linking with her in the EBUZZ tonight. So we're going to be hearing more about that a little later on. Other entertainers slated to perform at the 420 celebration: Sean Paul, Protege, Steel Pulse, and there'll also be a Lee Scratch Perry memorial set featuring Michael Rose. And, 420 is a day set aside to celebrate all things marijuana.
I'm very jealous of Tristan right now. I wish I was there, because that is one concert not to be missed. That lineup is stellar.
Stellar indeed.
That's a stellar lineup. And and one of the beautiful things about it, that lineup truly represents 420. Everybody, right? So
we'll be blazing.
We'll be blazing, literally.
The words of Sean Paul.
Man. Yes. So we're going to be linking with Tristan during the program tonight, and she's going to be giving us what's happening there in Colorado. So what do you feel like? I feel like I need to head on down to the movies. What are your thoughts?
I feel the same.
So it's now time for At the Movies with Maisha Brody.
Lights, camera, action. Hey movie lovers, welcome to At the Movies. I'm Maisha Brody. Hollywood star Jamie Foxx is still in hospital. A week after his daughter revealed he had been admitted following a medical complication. People magazine confirmed the star of films such as Collateral and Ray was in a Georgia hospital undergoing tests. Last week, his daughter Corinne Fox said in a statement that her father had experienced a medical complication. Luckily, due to quick action and great care, he's already on his way to recovery, she added. The statement was published on Instagram on behalf of the Fox family. The family did not share details about what caused the health issue. Still on the movie scene, talent manager Entertainment 360 has dropped actor Jonathan Majors. The recent move by Majors' longtime manager comes 3 weeks after the magazine Dreams star was arrested on domestic violence charges in New York City. Currently starring in Creed 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Majors' departure was due to issues surrounding the actor's personal behavior. The actor was arrested on March 25 over an alleged domestic dispute with a 30-year-old woman. The unnamed victim was taken to the hospital with minor injuries to her head and neck. Majors is expected to appear before a judge on May 8 as...
Yo. Check, check, check. Yo, yo.
Little bit about FIP Moonlight Soiree. I like the name. I want you to give us some information about it. Where is it? When is it? What time should people get out there? And what's on the bill? What's the package?
First, the person should know and understand what the meaning of FIP. It's an acronym.
Yes.
It's family in partnership, so it's a family,
Nice.
team of family. So Moonlight Soiree, FIP Moonlight Soiree is this Saturday, the 22nd of April, at Catherine Hall Stadium in Montego Bay. Catherine Hall Stadium in Montego Bay, featuring the King and the Queen of Dancehall, Spice and Beanie Man live there. Persons are providing music are Creep and JR from Chromatic Live, Crazy Neil, DJ Firestick and DJ Kwan. So we want the patrons to come out, enjoy good music, enjoy themselves and have a great time.
So what's the admission to see the King and Queen of Dancehall, and where can we get tickets?
FIP Entertainment has always been considerate as it relates to, making things very affordable. So pre-sold tickets, regular, as in general admission, $5,000. So VIP, which is food inclusive, is only $10,000. At the gate, patrons can pay regular tickets for $7,000 and VIP $13,000. Some of our ticket outlets are for Montego Bay areas, Pier 1, El Paso, Fontana. In Trelawney, you have Oliver's Pharmacy, and we have Loud Fashion in Ocherias. We have Draped and Tiana in Montego Bay, and here Candy in Montego Bay. And also, we have the Fontana's location in Westmoreland. We have in the Dumfries area, which is also in St. James on the countryside, we have Naomi Shop. Big up yourself, Naomi. Thanks a lot for the promotion on that end. So those are some of the places that we can get our tickets. Also online,
Yes.
we have caribtic.com/Moonlight Soiree.
Talk to us a little bit about your security and parking and so on. Are those things in place?
I mean, for persons who know about FIP Entertainment, which is the same team that keeps FIP Jam Fest, which is held every December, our security is A+. Okay, we're always on the ball with that because, we have good parking, good security, and once we want the patrons to know that they can come out with their tens of thousands and come and enjoy a great event. Okay? Like we have always provided for them. They asked for this one, so we must all, come out and enjoy a good time.
Yes,
I realized, Bones, that also on your flyer, Colin, you have dress code is casually elegant. Will the dress code be enforced or anything goes?
I mean, casually elegant is what we required, but people just we want to have come out, support the bar, support the event, and enjoy yourselves.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also we have cabana packages available for persons who want to up the thing a little bit, so they can contact us at 799 4550. That's 799 4550 for all your cabana packages. You can get the information at that number, or you can also link us on Instagram at FIP Jamfest Official at Instagram. Okay.
Colin, we want to wish you all the best with FIP's Moonlight Soiree. We know it's going to be successful. It's going to be at the Catherine Hall Complex in Montego Bay this is Saturday, April 22. And we wish you all the best with it. And what's a good time for folks to head on to the venue?
I mean, folks, showtime, we start at 8 p.m. So, the earlier the better. They come out early and enjoy themselves so that,
You suggest that they get into the venue early and get themselves situated so that they can relax.
Because remember, we're looking for a full house. Therefore, the tickets are going very fast. We have to restock some areas today.
Nice.
So we're asking, patrons to just come in, head out, get your tickets earlier. It's a lot more affordable, to get the tickets
before
from the ticket outlets and at the gate. So go and get your pre-sold tickets and come out and enjoy yourselves. All
right, Colin.
All right. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best, like Bones said earlier.
Yeah, man, and thank you guys a lot. Big up RFM, big up the entire team, and blessings always, yeah?
Thank you very much, Colin. Colin Reed, the promoter of FIP Moonlight Soiree. Wish you all the best with it on the weekend in Montego Bay. Big up, Colin. Enough love. Ah, boy, I tell you, it's been it's an eventful show so far, and we got more to come. So every week we create a platform, or we provide a platform for young talent to come and just kind of tell us about what they're doing, and of course give them an opportunity to showcase their talent and find out more about them. This week our music artist is Halonai. I hope I got it right. Halonai is with us in studio.
Welcome, Halonai.
Halonai, bless up yourself, madam.
Yeah, man, blessings and thanks for having me on the platform, for the first time. Alani!
That is it.
All right, welcome. No, for listeners, for persons who are hearing you, and yes, some people may hear your music and know of you, especially where you're from. But can you tell our listeners who is Alani and how would you describe the music that you're bringing to the fore?
Well, Alani, so rounded in the music is like if I start talk, everything is a story. But for make it short, Alani is a musician / producer, record artist, engineer, and Alani is a youth where the music with feeling. I nah hear the feedback good,
we're hearing you clearly though. We're hearing you good.
Spanish Town, a place called Winterpen. That's how we things start where, as a youth coming up. But my father always a DJ upon him little tape deck and a tape, so that's how it start from.
Right.
Until we get older now and end up on Magnum King and Queen. So that's how I get the name Alani. From 2013, my name Alani. Before that, my name Element.
Before that, okay.
The Alani, the H for humble, A, ambitious, L, loving, O, outstanding, and neutral, A, attacking, the I, independent. So, so the name have a meaning to me whenever I just put something together.
All right, so you were talking about, I wanted to find out from you, who are some of your musical influences? Tell us about your father's role in introducing you to the music, and of course, some of your other musical influences. Who are some of the people who inspire you to do music?
All right, for me, music, me always grow and new people always inspire me because I love all kind of genre. But starting, my father usually play a lot of Charlie Chaplin and Josie Whale when we were little youth. And Garnet, Silk, Bojo Berries. So that's how I starting until me start grow, being a killer. So till me reach Idonia, Father, Cartel.
Everybody.
Overseas. So a whole heap of artists if my name.
Right.
Halonai, you may want
but
to...
overall, I love good music. So from I like the quality, I love melodies. So, that's how I would say, put everything together.
Halonai, you may want to face forward, so persons who are watching online can see you. Yes, like look in the camera. So yes, so they can get a different shot. You mentioned earlier that you are also a sound engineer, producer, and artist. Tell us about the sound engineer and producer aspect of Halonai, and have you worked with anybody who is established in the business, artist or producer?
Yeah, well, I work with a lot of established artists before. I mean, even as an engineer, I usually do engineering at King Jammies and make rhythm for King Jammies and John before. So right there, me get a lot of experience. Work with a lot of artists like, what would I say, Sizzla, Jack U or Ayak T, and just to name a few. And also I have my label, Yard of Your Music, where I work with a lot of upcoming artists like myself from my area, Spanish Town, Yeah, man.
So, Halonai, tell us a little bit about what you're promoting now. What is your latest musical effort? Give us a description of what you're promoting.
Now I'm promoting my song titled No Love. Yeah.
And tell us how the song came about. Did you write it yourself? What was the inspiration? Is it a true story? Is it happening to you yourself? How it go?
Yeah, man, I really like something, It's like me never have to meditate it. It's so really just happen naturally. Cause, in a time like this, a lot of things are going on. Experience are the best teacher. So sometimes things happen, we just put it in the music. So I not really put pen to paper, like from the beat. Have the right vibe, so I get a beat from a producer from Antigua. He's a friend of mine.
Yes.
Located in Miami, Florida. His name Samerang. So he is an artist also. So I always do works for him, make a rhythm, do mixing and them always say, yo, Alani, you know voice, but I want to beat them. I said, bro, when the time is right, as long as I feel the beat.
Right.
So when him send me the beat, he's a juggling and things. So yeah, man, while I'm working on the other songs them on it, I find this song No Love.
Can you introduce the song? We'll have DJ Lollipop play it so our listeners can hear it.
Yeah, man. Alani, I say tell them. Listen to that one, Sammy, ranks, music. Alani. Wisdom is like fire, love is like winter, time is like splinter. The same money pass go brother, the same money pass come down. Them burn them bridge before them cross the stream. Only remember with strength when them fall weak. Prayer for my soul, me have to Lord to keep. Cause modern days wolves could have passed for sheep. No love. Kinda no love. So if you cut me right now, you don't see no blood. Man look the opposite from me and still not see no love. Some a water like a pig and them not see no mud. But when time I run over, you don't see no flood. No try look down on me, through your thing you up. At the same road we bring you down, if you fall back we bring you up. Don't treat your brother like him skin a rug. Stay return, you're feeling like a bin, You burn the bridge before you cross the street. Oh, remember with strength when I'm falling weak. Prayer for my soul, me have to hard to keep. Cause modern days wolves could have passed for sheep. No love. Mankind no love.
Alani, that tune there bad in a youth.
Look, absolutely love this song, and when I'm playing this song, I literally cannot play it one time, and it is a reality that everybody can attest to.
Halonai,
give thanks.
Can we look out for anything apart from this lovely musical effort that you're giving us in terms of a EP or an album anytime soon?
Yeah, man, anytime soon. We are pushed the No Love, but we have loads of tracks,
We figured
that. We have to use that strategy. We can't just give them everything one time. But yeah, me have EP ready right now.
Have you have a name for the EP? And how many tracks?
No, me not have a name, but more likely me I go put like 5 or 6 or so,
And is there
And
a
is there
time
a
frame
time
we can
frame we
look
can
out
look
for
out for
this
this
EP
EP
to be
to be
ready?
ready?
For release.
For release.
Yeah, man, before summer.
All right.
All right.
You know, summer now, so as soon.
Around the corner, basically.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
You have about
You have about 2-3 months.
Having being a producer and also a sound engineer, what was the inspiration that you got to step into your own artist spotlight and not so much behind the scenes?
Well, you know, all right, yeah. I started as an artist, you know.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you know, like I struggles when I go through one thing make me dey really have to start learn and you know, start go up on YouTube and start go around the right people, then big up Jai Angel. You see me by
Right.
being around the right people, you start learn things. So that's how I really started. Like me never planned say I want do this, but why me I meet people I say, yo, you're talented. For example, I would go around King Jammies and you know, in me hear my song and the mix and thing and I say, so you do all of this and you know? Yes, so like me always attract that side, but I really the artist side me always push most for tell the truth. Me always focus on my craft as an artist.
But which one?
But which one do you love more?
The artist, but me enjoy being in the studio, you know? Like
As well.
As well.
As
like
well.
being an artist, like naturally, like from my little, me always get some haunting dream, like me they just know say this like, you know, me a dream see me and killer them on stage and elephant man them like, you know, as a
Yes.
youth.
Yes.
Yeah, man, and me always build me little sound out of my Walkman and CD player, be a DJ clash at school, so me know say it a part of me. My life, you know, but me never see the musician part now. Now when me start learning to play an instrument like playing piano and guitar and open, me start listening to sounds now.
Right.
And me start listening to quality, so it's like it's another love that.
You know, it's a
You know, it's a
long
long time ago when you hear talk about Walkman.
Because
Because I tell us the Walkman is some hard thing, you know, man.
So you know a
So you know a
long
long time.
Tell us
Tell us a
little.
little.
Kish, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
as legendary as King Jammies, and you know, being able to be around him and in his studio, and you know, getting the compliment that you did from him. What are some of the things that the takeaway from a legend like King Jammies that you have taken to yourself? What did you learn being around him?
Me learn so much, you know. Even when them not try teach me, like for just the me as a youth, me just always observe, and sometimes by observing, you not even have to ask certain questions, you know. Him tell me one thing, cause when me just go around and me ask, when me see him do some crazy thing, and you know, he make me appreciate the music more. Me learn a lot about the history.
Right.
Right.
He look for me, and you know, I would ask him certain questions. Him said the sound is within, you know. So whatever you search for in a studio, you bring it out, you know.
Halonai,
Halonai, one of the things I wanted to find out from you, what does your schedule look like? How can your fans, where can your fans see you next performing?
All right, next performing. All right, currently, me not have no show lineup like that.
Like
But,
booked,
Like booked, right.
Yeah, me not have a show lineup for book mostly in the studio and I try promote the music, you know. Cause you know we have to build up the thing so when we go up on the show, the people them can at least sing along
Right.
with the music and them way there. So them can find it on social media though.
Give us your
social media handles. How can we find you?
All right. The name of a unique spelling, Halonai, Alani _ on Instagram. You know, Alani Vivo. You can go on the TikTok, Facebook, all of them platforms.
TikTok,
Yeah,
yes.
TikTok, but you know we call it TikTok.
TikTok.
You know, yard man style, you know.
Tell you, easy.
Halonai, do you have a management team? Like, what is your strategic plan and structure that you have behind the Halonai machinery?
All right. Currently, I'm open to work with people, you know. So currently, I just the family, big up Chris and A1 and you know, Young Star, my brother them and you know, my father believe in me fully. So you know, we don't have a steady thing together yet, but we have a steady thing together because the unity did and we are do it. And the greatest thing from you read to what you do and from you do good music. Because if the song never good, Kishima couldn't play it for over 10 minutes. What do you know?
No, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
It's a real proper song that I think a lot of people can relate to, especially now. It's like when we open the show and in the hot topics bones, we're talking about people dying and the crime and the gun violence and that kind of thing. And if you should do some introspection, you realize that people in general, love is not at the forefront of their minds or their hearts. People are just going around with a lot of hate and a lot of hateful things, and it is so easy for them to spew hate as opposed to embrace and express love. So it well real.
And one of
the beautiful things about music is that the message that the music sends can also change the narrative of what is happening sometimes. A lot of times we have a lot of hate, we have a lot of, just as Kishiba was saying, in terms of what is happening. You have a song that is well produced, well written, and the message is very clear. It will definitely or literally change the narrative. People will listen to the song and say, something, I love the message that this brother is sending. Let us do what the song is saying. So we're saying love.
Give thanks, man. You're getting some great feedback naturally. I see how people are crying them things that, like, powerful. Was a music. So we can't go around it. We say, music powerful and people really relate in a real life the way I sing. Sometimes it's not just entertainment, it real,
Music changes sometimes it changes your mindset, your mood, and your overall, peace of mind. It really can, depending on how the music is, what the music is saying, it really can create a narrative. It makes you feel good. Sometimes it makes you feel like it has no sense, and sometimes you want the stupidness, so we don't want a stupid song. We want good music because a lot of people, their outlet is music.
Yeah,
to feel good, to get a break, to get a reset. Music. It's a lot of people's passion too.
Having a song like No Love, Halonai, what is your plan in terms of, where you want to go musically, and not trying to put you in a box, but in terms of what you want to create, how would you describe the music that you intend to produce?
All right, you see like what you're saying, I try to put me in the box. I tell them I want to be out of the box fully, So I'm not really in a one lane. The sky is the limit, but me want build my catalog, I want
very important
music. I have some sing-along music where I can up on the stage and the crowd that sing with me, not only in Jamaica, worldwide, So I want them kind of legacy there. I want to help some youth with my talent that God give me. Because if me can do so much as one person, when the things straighten a certain way. I already help all the youth, so, hopefully in the future I can be somebody like a bounty killer in another way. Where I help some youth, but I can actually in the studio I put in the work, Yeah, man.
Well, I tell you something.
What you're doing is good. The music is great. And we wish you all the best in terms of what you've been doing. And we want to keep the reggae flat or the Jamaican music high.
Any travels so far? Have you been out of the country because of the music?
Well, my music out of the country, but
music have
enough man sang
in the left airport.
Well, me can tell you, say,
yes,
a visa.
Diplomatic visa go everywhere.
I have a song name Keep It Airy and a song name Happy Day. Trust me, I get great response in a UK and in a Africa, and I get requests for travel and them way there, but nothing beat time. Cause when I did travel, the pandemic thing they come in, so that they kind of push back certain things. But you say now, we push out some music, so we don't really rush the process,
Right.
Build the thing the right way. So when time we even go out there, the thing I work in the right way.
And speaking of build the thing, do you find that having the experience as a sound engineer and a producer, that it also helps you when you go into the studio to do your own recording as an artist?
Yeah, man, it helped me a lot. It made me enjoy the music. I mean, not only the lyrics and the melody, like even the quality. Like you will see me in the studio, I laugh with myself and I listen things, and I listen things from like one different dimension, and everybody are here. We are here as a engineer, So it's a joy, man.
Well, Halonai, we wish you all the best. It was really great talking to you. And remind us again when we can look out for that EP. And before you leave us, also give our listeners your social media handles where we can find you.
Yeah, man. All right. The EP now, I think by June. By June, July. I'm not name it yet, but as you can see, the PSA No Love Dep and we not drop it lesser than that, you know? And we have a lot of different vibrant music. You know, we have reggae, a little of this, a little of Afro, a little nowadays style said we. And you can follow Alani. Alani, HALONAI _, official on every platform, you know. Check out the official music video for No Love on YouTube. You see me?
And Halonai, anybody you want to pick up before you go? Go through now. Go through.
Yeah. Pick up my mother and my father. Yo, the whole winter pen, you know.
Yeah.
Where going on? Live again. Yo, Trace Cross, A1,
Yeah.
Young Star, Delia, you know. Jai Angel, Strap Down. Yeah, man. Jamie Record. Yeah, man.
All right, Halonai.
Halonai, all the best. I'm blessed up to Chase.
Yeah, man. And Richard, my son.
I go first, Myla.
Yeah, man. And he's one of my biggest fans too. I tell you.
See it there?
Yourself, Richard.
All right, madam. Halonai, keep doing what you're doing. Wish you all the best. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Give thanks. Thanks for having me on the platform. I don't know.
All right.
Halonai.
Yeah, them style there. Why, man, tell you. And I wonder what's happening. You know, at some point we should be linking with Tristan Wilson to find out what's happening with the 420 Soul Shakedown celebration that's happening.
I think we are gonna go for a time signal first, and we have someone special awaiting us on Zoom. So we're gonna be going to that.
Don't move. We'll be back.
Get up to 15% off your prescriptions when you visit the new Hilldale Pharmacy and Medical Center on Great George Street, Savannah, Lamar. The time by New Hilldale Pharmacy and Medical Center is...
It is 9:17 p.m. If you're just joining us, it is the EBUZZ. And of course, we have someone very special on Zoom with us right now. And we may even have something else coming up. But Keisha will give you the honors to bring on this special person.
Elizabeth Lady Montano, educator, author, and mom of none other than Machel Montano. We're talking about Soca King, right? Welcome and good night. Thank you so much for joining us, Mama Montana.
Mama Montana, are you there?
I see you're saying thank you for having me, but we're not hearing you. So just see if you're muted right there. Because I know that you're hearing us loud and clear.
Oh, I'm not muted.
Are we hearing you?
You know,
little,
low,
very low.
Very low. We're hearing it's a little low.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Yes, I'm hearing you very well.
All right.
Awesome. So, of course, it's really exciting. So we're just going to jump in and talk about this 40-year biography of Machel Montano, King of Soca. You writing this book is giving fans basically a 411 from the Ultimate Insider's perspective. Now, what actually prompted this whole idea to say, write a book about your son to celebrate 40?
Well, in 2018, I graduated with my master's in philosophy in studies. And I did my thesis on Making of Monk Monty, which was based on Machel's collaboration with artists from different genres. Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, from different genres. And when I graduated, I said that it was very academic. And I wanted to get it to the man in the street. I wanted to get it to young artists. I wanted to get it to academics. And I said, well, maybe I'll adapt it into a book. And then, unfortunately, or fortunately, 2020, when the pandemic came, I took those 2 years to adapt the book to the King of Soca, giving it color, bringing life to it in terms of being very creative with a lot of images and newspapers. And, so that, as I said before, people in the street, the young person and the academic could appreciate it.
What do you want readers to take away from this book? I know it's about your Machel, massive superstar, but what life lesson do you want them to take away from it?
I want them to realize that you don't have to be anybody big to be great or to be successful. And I think that core values are very important. And Machel's success is based on the core values that Monty and I have inculcated in him and his brother. So this is very apparent in the book. And I wanted people to know this and to know that if they work hard, if they work with integrity, if they sacrifice, if they are willing to take risks, if they work with others, if they love their own, all these things can contribute to their success. It isn't a Bible. I'm not saying everybody will be the same because each individual has his own path. But these are some of the things that if you adopt and you follow, you can succeed.
One of the things I wanted to find out from you, if you could give us a little background in terms of what kind of child was Machel, in terms of, did you know that, how did you know he was gifted in music?
Well, at the age of 5 is when I discovered him. And his brother always boasts that he discovered Machel. Because Marcus, my bigger son, we sent him to learn to play the guitar. And the music teacher wanted him to sing and play the guitar. But he couldn't sing and play at the same time. So he called Machel to sing for him. And then Machel made a whole big thing out of it. He will tape it. He will have a talent show that we called here Antique. And he will be a contestant. He will be the judge. He will be the engineer because he was taping. And in years to come, Machel also studied and became a recording engineer and a producer. So when I heard at 5 and he taped it, I took it to my husband and said, Monty, Machel has a good voice.
Yes.
And we took him to the music teacher and at 5, and then it all started from there, and the rest was history.
Wow. And, I read that you quit your job to manage your son full time. What is that experience like? Because, here it is, you're also mommy, but then you're also a manager. How is that dynamic, and does it actually work? And do you always agree and get along? What is that like?
The momager.
Well, I'm now going to say that I'm not a momager.
You're not a momager.
No, I'm a mother. And I was a manager. I kept those things separately. When I was out there in the entertainment field, Machel was my boss. And when we were home, I was the boss. I was the mother. I was the one setting the rules. But once he's out there, and this is from very small, at the age of 9, he was the one out there making the decisions in terms of the music and in terms of the entertainment, and Monty and I were there supporting him. So where the public found it difficult to understand, it was very clear for the both of us and for our family. Machel is the boss at work.
Yes.
And the boss at home.
So there's no time that these roles crossed.
Not for us. Because I was there, for example, I was always there at home when he really needed the love of a mother or the understanding. And I am still there at the age of 73. I'm still there when he would come and we will sit and we'll talk as mother and son. But then when it comes to the work, I leave him because I trust what he's doing and I know he's fully capable.
Have you ever had any doubts of a creative direction that he was going in, and you felt like, Machel, do you really feel like this is what we should do?
No, I'm always confident in Machel because Machel is not. He puts a lot of thought into whatever he does. And he's very serious. He gets very deep into whatever he does. And he does a lot of work, a lot of research. And, so I trust his judgment 100%.
Wow.
It is so
It is
nice.
so nice.
I always
thought, important how the mother's role plays into their child or children. But you have such a corporate side to this in terms of, as you say, the roles are split. When he's on the road, he's the boss. When you're at home, then you're his mom. And you said it's very easy because the roles were very clear and defined. And a lot of people I have seen where the mother or the parent takes up the role of manager and is nothing but mayhem. But you've been able to create a formula that is extremely successful, and Machel has touched people's lives all over the world with his music.
Yes, because you see, being a teacher,
yes,
guidance counselor, I know that with my students, I was able to separate my emotions. Like I sympathize with them, I empathize, so that once I am working in that role, I occupy that position as the counselor.
Yes.
And then when I come out of that role, it's another relationship. So I never mix it. I will never mix the emotion with the professional. And I think this is one of the things I came into entertainment with.
Wow. How did Machel end up going to school in Jamaica? How did that happen? A lot of people don't know this about him, because when we think about Machel, you think Trinidad and soca, but he went to school in Jamaica. How did that happen?
Well, in 1976, I came to UWI Mona, my degree in education, and both Machel and Marcus stayed in Trinidad with my husband, Monty. And then in 77, when Machel was 2, they came with him. So he did geology, because geology wasn't offered in Trinidad, neither education. So we had to come to Mona to do it. And we never left our children with anybody, so we brought them. So Machel went to Mona Basic, and Marcus went to Hope Valley Experimental in Augustown. I don't know if the school still exists, but it was a school where normal children went to school with paraplegics. And they were in the same classroom. So Machel was 2 and Marcus was 4.
Oh, wow.
And we lived in Mona Heights.
What are you most proud of when you think about your son and all that he has accomplished musically and otherwise?
Well, like I tell people, I have 2 sons who have made a difference. My son Marcus is a captain with Caribbean Airlines, and of course Machel. And when people say, "Oh my, Liz or lady, you're real proud that your son is a big pilot or your other son is a big entertainer," and I keep repeating it to people, I am not proud of what they are, but I am proud to see that the core values that Monty and I inculcated in them as young children, I see it manifest in them as men. And that's my proudest moment.
That is absolutely wonderful. And
Machel is doing a master's degree now also.
Yes. I think he followed any footsteps of
I think so too. I think so. I know you're doing a master's now. And I get the feeling,
I think that he is transitioning into another, or he's just widening his scope in terms of what he's going to be doing as his life progresses. And we want to big him up for that, because a lot of the entertainers they make very good money in their early age or their early stages, or their times when they call them hot. And as things, this business is very fickle. It'll be popular for a moment, and then another time, now you're kind of not the hottest thing again. What do you do? We see a plan B here, and we see him, going into education, and also, making sure that his entrepreneurship and his foundation will be set for his later years.
Yes, well, I think seeing both parents are educators.
Yes.
Both, took education very seriously, and we also instill that in our children's heads, that it is important to be educated. And I think that when Machel speaks, he always says why. He gives people the reason why he decided to study to do his master's. And I think that if you look at him over the last 40 years, and in my book, King of Soca, you will see that Machel evolves over the years, and there's always a transformation taking place. And I think this is just another one of his transformations.
For mothers who are listening, because you said a lot of things that, at the beginning of the conversation that is so profound. For instance, the minute you identified that your son was into music, you were supportive of the direction that he wanted to go, that felt natural to him. Despite being an educator, how important is it for parents who are listening locally and internationally to support their child or children's dream, even if it is not something that they want that child to pursue?
Yes, I think that, again, with my experience as a counselor, I always tell parents that they must support their children's interest. Like, I had students whose parents wanted them to do, let's say, wanted them to be a scientist, wanted them to be doctors. When child himself wanted to be in communication. And they made him do at the A levels, they made him do science subjects. He wasn't successful, and he had to go back and do communications. So from the very beginning, we just felt, just Monty and I, that whatever our children wanted to do, we supported them, because again, they were not frivolous. They showed great interest. They showed talent. They showed that they really wanted to do something. So then we put our hearts into supporting them. So Machel had what you call a very strong, and still has a very strong support system. So when he said he wanted to, he didn't say he wanted to get into music. He got into music accidentally, but when he got into there, he did it very well, and we supported him. Even when he was doing A levels, he wanted to do something else. And well, especially my husband supported him, and he went away and studied to become a recording engineer and a producer, and was very successful. And then now he's going into his new education drive, which is in his master's in Carnival studies.
And when I listen to things like Carnival studies, I didn't know there was theory to it. But obviously, there is. But I want to just give you kudos. You give me a feeling like when I'm talking to my mother, also because my mother is also an educator. And she always tries to give you principles and give you a foundation. So whatever you're doing, the base is there. And the base is there with Machel. Machel is on stage and he's performing. He's getting the crowd all wild up. When he's off stage, you see the culture, you see the refinement in him. And I can only give that to his parents who have set the foundation for him, because he really is a true gentleman as an entertainer. I've had the opportunity of meeting him several times, and he's always the coolest person and always ready to meet and greet his fans with such grace. So we have to give kudos to his foundation and his parents. So big up.
Very much, because it's important. I tell everybody, do not blame the community, do not blame the priest, do not blame the government. It is parents' responsibility to socialize their children. You be their role model, and you can't go wrong.
Never fail.
It is really interesting that you made such a solid point as a mom who has been in the entertainment industry, a manager for your son, an educator as well, because there is usually this ongoing conversation where people talk about the influence and impact of the music and how it spills over into society and influence or young ones. In this regard, do you still feel that regardless of what happens musically, for instance, that the buck starts and stops with the parents?
Exactly. You see, in those first 7 years, foundation years, that's when personalities are formed. And if, as a parent, you take your time to teach your children and to live and set examples, then you don't have to worry. Because sometimes kids, as teenagers, they might rebel, but they are going to come right back to what they were taught. So it is very important for you to be a good parent. If you have a very good mother, and some of us grew up in homes with no fathers there, but very strong mothers, you can't go wrong. And there's no excuse for giving your child that kind of foundation.
Totally
agree. And of course, the proof is right here on Irie with us right now.
Elizabeth Lady Montano. Now, for persons who just turned their radio on and want to know, can you remind us again the 40-year biography of Machel Montano, King of Soca? Where can we get our very own copy?
Right.
Is it in bookstores
or online or anything?
The Caribbean or on Amazon?
Yes, it is online on www.machelmontano.com/shop. I have just started putting it in the stores of Jamaica. Just started because I launched it there last Tuesday. So at present, iNation has it. This is a mobile bookstore. And then we have, I'm going to Queer. And I'm looking forward to going to some of the bigger stores so that everybody could have the access to the KOS, King of Soca.
And I gotta tell you the truth, Mommy. The King of Soca just arrived in the studio, and we've been talking about him, and he just arrived, and Machel is What's up, boss? Everything. Hey, let me tell you something, Machel. Your mom is on the line with us, and she's been telling us the whole of your little picnic business.
Sheep don't make goat.
Folks, if you just join us, we have the King of Soca, Machel Montano, in studio, and we have his lovely mom on the line with us, and she's been giving us a bit of a backdrop into Machel's life, and now Machel has now arrived in studio. Yeah, you can hear us?
Yes.
So we're not even checking cash up.
Digital right now.
Machel Montano in the studio.
What I want to ask you is, how do you feel about your mom's book, The 40-Year Biography of Machel Montano, King of Soca, and have you read it?
I love it. I have read it. I need to read it again because it's so much you have to really double read and soak these things in. It's like a novel, but it's really a beautiful piece of work with pictures and good memories and a real nice timeline. Like, my whole life, I'm so lucky that my entire life is like, okay, what song did I do in 86? What song was 97? What song was 2001? And I could map back my entire life. But to see it in this book form with pictures and relevant information is a real nice piece of homework that she do for me. I feel like I some of my homework done, You know
one of the beautiful things, Machel, is that you just got here, but you see, because we've had an opportunity to have your mom online with us for such a long time, you said she's talking about us. And he got some info. So they're going to talk to your brother to we need that ticket on the airline there.
Yeah, fly jump seat
round the back. Yes.
When you create your music, have you ever focused on your mom as an educator or her being your manager as well when you're in your creative process? Is that something that you're always conscious about that kept you, perhaps within the lines?
You mean like doing the music as such? No, definitely not. I mean, my mom never really get involved in the music part of things. In the early days when, we was doing our calypsos, and she would, the whole family will play a role. Like, we'll sing songs like Take Me Back Africa, and that would be something coming out of my father and my mother, and they want to go to a good songwriter and tell them this is what we want to sing about. Or when we had, all the people saying Machel too young to soca, we went and say, okay, let's write a song called Too Young to Soca. And but when from the time my mother realized that we about what we about, she understand that creative process is, my world. So it's never me, worrying about what she will think or, the one time I feel she was ever worried about content was when I was ready to go in the Soca Monarch and come after people with verses, real verses about attacking different artists and, sound killing kind of vibes. She didn't really like that, but it had to be done.
Machel, one of the most important things, you got a chance to come into the studio, but you not say hello to your mother.
I waiting. I seen
Mommy.
I seen her there. Good evening, Mrs. Montano.
Good evening, man.
How are you, Lady Montano? I know she all right. We like that, no matter if we distance apart, we always together,
I love
we
that.
come like one, because we don't only exist in the physical world.
It is so enlightening what she was talking to us about in terms of you and you as a child. So from 5 years old, you're just ready for the music.
Well, I mean, it was some kind of energy happening because for me, I was interested in it's so strange that in the year 2000, I had to recalibrate life in general and ask myself, Machel, what does life mean to you, or what makes you tick?
Right.
And I went back into her scrapbooks. She had these heaps of scrapbooks. And I went back into the scrapbooks, looking back at articles, looking back at the journey, looking back at my own life.
Right.
And that was so valuable for me because coming out of that, I realized there was something about, greatness.
Right.
Something about greatness. And I immediately asked myself, okay, well, what is it about greatness that make me tick? And I started looking at Mandela, Marcus Garvey, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa. I just started looking at the great people and reading their stories or watching their movies.
Right.
And it was just from watching this book and knowing that, I was always trying to achieve something, So, I mean, sometimes you're lucky like that, to have that kind of person in your life and to know where you're going, because you don't know where you're going unless you know where you're coming from.
I
wow,
totally
so much
agree.
substance. That is absolutely amazing. Mommy Montana, big up yourself. Oh, wow. Right? Absolutely.
It's so great, yes.
You also recently you linked up with Nicki Minaj, Shake the Place. Tell us about that vibe. And she was also at Trinidad's Carnival. What was that like?
Always great to mingle with such greats, such supernovas, I call them.
Yeah.
I've met a couple of the big names, people like Beyonce. I've met Jay-Z. And when you come into close proximity of them and you understand them as people, you realize why they're so powerful.
Right.
Sometimes they're silent. Sometimes they're very assertive. Sometimes they're very deep. They're very humble. You could see these things. So Nicki Minaj is somebody that I've been in awe of because, she's not just this big rapper.
Right.
She'll jump on songs and she'll sing. She'll do the videos. She's very focused about her work.
Right.
So, she has always been somebody who admired soca music and her home, Trinidad. She will come. She did the Ring the Alarm video. And while doing the Ring the Alarm video, she asked Machel to be in the video. So I was in the video with her. That was dope. And then I always know that she loves soca because I see her in the best of the best in Miami. In the middle of her rap show, singing Destra's is Carnival.
Right.
So she was always a Destra fan. So this year she did that track with Skeng, and she had Patrice Roberts, she had Destra on it, Pampute, all the, Spice everybody. And she was kind of leaning into Caribbean music. And I feel at that moment she and Destra had a conversation about one day I'll jump on one of your tracks. And this Carnival, she saw the video that Destra and I made online, and she commented, and she and Destra started talking, and she's like, yo, I love this track. I want to come home. And she was home in 2020 or 2019, one of those years, on the truck. So, this feeling of wanting to come into your own culture and come back home after being a big rap star was something that was there with her. But she just wanted something that looked like, the spark. And I feel seeing the Destra and seeing the Shake the Place and having that friendship, it just, the stars align. And one day she just DM'd saying, yo, I want to be on this track. I want to put a verse. And it was like the Thursday before Carnival.
Right.
And I was like, all right, let's go. And she spent the whole day on the phone with me. And she said, like, Machel, okay, I got to write the first part of the verse. Okay, listen to this. In 4 hours' time, she was like, hear this. Boom, I heard it. I was like, dope. I was like, let's put this. She said, all right, give me 2 more hours. Boom, she was back on it.
Right.
And, that kind of genius, kind of like real construction. It was a real learning experience to me, which I've seen with these kind of artists.
I think we should hear this song.
Yeah?
I think you want to introduce it yourself, Machel?
Man.
Go do it in your own style.
This is the world's greatest, Nicki Minaj when she touched the mic.
Yes.
Straight out of Trinidad and Tobago. Alongside Destra and Machel, shake the place. We like the earthquake in Jamaica the other day, you know.
Yes, what they are.
Saturday, earthquake.
Earthquake.
Hey, yo. You know my sound taken. That's cause I'm groundbreaking. Shout out to Machel and Destra, they got the ground shaking. Trinidad, my country, the greatest carnival of all time.
Feel it in the air from the time I wake. Spirits come alive when we celebrate.
Yeah.
What we bring to life to happen every day. Is a kind of high that they can replicate.
This stage is we own. Yeah. This place is we own.
Let's go. Look how the ground shaking. One more time shaking. Yes, we are the ground shaking. Tell them it's we by the ground. Stand. Follow the big truck. It's a big band. We going right down till the last jump. Look everybody. Tell everybody. Start to shake the place. Jump about, shake up the whole place. Shake the ground, shake the ground, shake up the whole place. Shake up your whole waist. Shake the ground, shake the ground, shake up the whole place. Yeah. All up on the pavement. Hot girl and a speaker box. Tell bumper we shaking. Yeah. This feeling amazing. No competition. Tell me about the secret.
I'm getting a real bag. I get it on real bad. They know they can't compete with Trini girls. They going out real sad. That bumper got even bigger. So now he not even with her. I wanted that bet. I don't mean that hug. I want to see getting a sticker. We smoking that real grass. We playing that real mass. Shout out to my show Wi-Fi. Wanted that real ras. On real bad. I'm reppin' that red, that white, that black. I'm reppin' my real flag.
This stage is we own. This place is we own. Look how the ground shaking. All over town shaking. We are the ground shaking.
No, sir.
Boys, I see you getting on real bad.
Yeah, the ground shaking.
I talk in the Trinidad thing now. I tell you something.
I get to done real
real bad.
I get on
real bad. As I say, hey!
Bones, you're singing slight major on this.
I know, I'm mixing it up.
You have a half major. You know what's the best part? The best part is to see us in the Caribbean enjoying each other. True. Especially Jamaica, because Jamaica been like really focused on Jamaica for a very, very long time.
That's true.
And it shows in the works, the Bob Marleys, the great reggae artists, the great sportsmen. I mean, the greats. And I think it has been an inspiration for a lot of other islands. You've seen the Barbados having people like Rihanna, the different islands representing. It's like an example that we all have this unique thing. But when we start to marvel and wonder at each other,
yes,
you know what I mean?
It's awesome.
It's a real beautiful
One of the things I wanted to find out from Machel, you went to school here in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Why do you think Jamaican people love the soca so much? I mean, when you see the carnival that happened over the weekend, I mean, it was pandemonium in terms of...
You ever hear this saying, good taste, no good taste? We know good taste anywhere it is all over the world if you know good taste.
True.
And you can't really love something until you know it.
Right.
And to know something takes time.
Right.
So, big up to Byron Lee, who have been, beating the bell for a long time and doing what he had to do. And, you know, all those after him, Jamaica Carnival, Bacchanal Carnival, this one, that one, the Exodus, the Yard Mass, everybody that played a role to keep soca alive in Jamaica. Big up some of the pioneers, people like Beanie Man, who come to Trinidad in 1992 and record soca songs.
Yes.
Big up people like Tony Kelly, who bring Machel here and record Big Fat Fish. And
big tune that, you know.
What? Big tune. If I tell some ladies the other day where I get that song from, and they couldn't even believe me. I said, "Oh, you ever see the movie Lunatic?" They say, "No, Lunatic." I said, "Can't remember Lunatic with Campbell. What's his name? Glenn Campbell. Is it Glenn or oh man, from Third World Cup there. Campbell. See, big actor that.
I know. He lives in the States.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't remember his name.
He was Aloysius.
Yes.
Remember Aloysius said, "God, when he was under the tree, I don't know if you ever see that movie, he said, God, why you never give me a tree little leaf so we could do photosynthesis?"
Yes.
He said, we could write now the knees berry done, the this done, the that done, my belly a burn me with hunger.
Yeah.
He said, remember the days when big fat fish used to rain from the sky?
And
he said that in that movie, and me and Farman Up used to watch that movie over and over and over. And I just say, this is the idea for the song.
So big fat fish raining from the sky.
Raining from the sky. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the Jesus Christ days then. You understand?
Yes.
So it's like the inspiration is always there. And the question was, you know, watching people like Beanie Man and Shaggy who take a chance with Machel, do Toro, people like Red Rat. It had so many people that work with me. Busy Signal,
yes.
You know, Shane Brown, everybody that you know, take a risk in trying the soca music and embracing the soca music. Now I feel that they have had enough time in Jamaica to understand it. It goes hand in hand with Carnival. The whole love for Caribbean Carnival is growing. You have a young generation now who have the money and they're traveling from Barbados Carnival. They go in Antigua, they go in Grenada, they come in Jamaica, they go in Guyana, and of course they go in Trinidad, and they go Miami sometimes, and they go New York Carnival or Toronto. It becoming this kind of thing where you can't get enough of it because it's a very liberating force.
It is so true.
And just the way you put it like that, just to talk about how it is growing and the collaborations. It was last year that the MOBO Awards, for their music awards, they expanded the reggae category to include Caribbean entertainers. So that is now, they renamed that category. As the king of soca, Machel, what do you feel? How do you feel about this move? And what do you think it means for Caribbean and in particular soca entertainers?
Well, you know, when you start to look beyond your borders or beyond your boundaries or beyond your limits, you're starting to become unlimited.
Right.
You know, and when you become wide and you become unlimited and you embrace more things moving in the same direction as you means that you could get more done. If something in your way and it blocking you is an obstacle.
Right.
If something moving with you, you have a greater force.
True.
So I feel when things, you know, break barriers and open up their barriers and accept more people, they just reach wider audiences. So that, you know, award show will grow in terms of, you know, its audience and its reach.
Right.
And this is what we're trying to do. We in a moment of serious globalization, and globalization is going beyond seeing yourself as a world. What we identify with, you could identify with being Jamaican,
yes,
or you could identify with being Caribbean,
right,
or you could identify with being cosmic, a part of the cosmos.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So,
talk to us about this new side now, the intellect in terms of studying, doing the masters in Carnival studies. What has that been like in terms of you being a true essence of Carnival and then now putting it to theory, putting it to the books? How have you been able to connect both?
Well, it has definitely opened up my eyes and break some myths or some misconceptions that I had, and something that, you know, I think it's not just me. The people of Trinidad and Tobago, we grew up thinking like Trinidad is the Mecca Carnival.
Right.
Carnival starts in Trinidad, and we are the best carnival. Or it have a carnival in Brazil, yeah, they all right. But they're not as big as Trinidad Carnival. Everybody feel Trinidad. And Byron Lee come and he fashioned his carnival after Trinidad Carnival.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I always, you know, knew that, all right, one day my goal was to tell the story of soca music. And as I learned, soca music was the soul of Calypso. by Ras Shorty I, who mix Indian music with African music and make this beat that people love. And it's a very united music. So I thought my mission was to tell people about soca. And then I realized, this beat that do katu kaktu katu kaktu. You can hear it in dancehall.
Yes.
They take them bow beat and they put it in reggaeton and they make reggaeton of that do katu kaktu.
Right.
You understand? They take it now and it's in the French music, it's in the pop music.
Right.
And I thought that this was the sound of the Caribbean.
Right.
I thought the sound of the Caribbean is do katu kaktu katu kaktu. Because no song like that.
Yes.
So I said, okay, my mission is to talk about the sound of the Caribbean. Right. But when I started going to school, I thought I was going to tell the story of the Caribbean to the world. I wanted to take something to the world and tell them about the story of the Caribbean. Right. Because I felt that, where we come from, how we end up here, how we have these different races on these different islands and why we end up here, how we develop our music was a good story.
Right.
But going to school, I started studying Pan Yard Studies, Calypso Tent Studies, and Carnival Culture. And in the Carnival Culture class, I understood that Carnival originated in Egypt. In when they used to call it Kemet in the ancient days, by the river Nile. They used to have these festivals when the river overflow, when the river become impregnated, when it ready to open the river and let it flow through the valley. Yeah, and it was like this revelation that Carnival is not just a Caribbean thing or a Trinidad thing.
Right.
It is a worldwide thing. Now it went from Egypt across to West Africa. And then it left there with the slaves and come in the Caribbean and in New Orleans and in Brazil. It ended up coming with the Africans. But it also went across the Mediterranean and ended up in Spain, in France, in Rome, in Greece, and they mix it with the Catholic religion. Wow. They put it at the Shrove Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. It come back to the Caribbean. So there is a big story about what Carnival is. But what was it? It was us praising the gods, walking through the street, expressing ourselves in dance and art and clapping and being free. And it was a ritual. So now I feel like my goal is to tell the story of Carnival to the world.
You just did.
Yeah.
I know. You gave us some insight there.
I'm just listening and I said, boy, you are an excellent narrator.
So it looked like it's about drinking and waving and whining and sexy girls in costume. And
it's a little bit about that too.
It is about that.
Yes. I just thought I'd put that in there.
Come on. That's what we all
That's a part of it.
Where the women go, we shall follow.
That is it.
Right behind the truck, we behind them. Full support.
Full support.
For the girl. But that is part of it. But if you really add that celebration and rivalry and you put some function behind it, especially some level of spiritual function.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? You know the dancehall music just go, oh, shape my ball. When you get that spirit catch it in the music.
Yes.
And you feel to dance and you feel to put your two hands in the air and scream, yes. Sure. Oh, yes, Father.
Yes, I am.
You understand? This is what it is about. And I feel we could do it some of that in the world right now,
Yes.
Carry our carnival down Ukraine.
So we need to plan that though.
Yeah.
But the bombing have to stop.
But you can imagine if there's a big truck coming on with some girls and artists.
The soldier will stop and say,
done.
I don't think we need to fire any more bullets. We need to party now.
Love
this is
peace,
great
man.
stuff.
Wow.
It's been awesome, Machel, in terms, and I tell you, when I thought, I got it mixed up. I thought you were coming in on Zoom,
Yeah.
I can say, Machel, come to them little local places, guys.
It's awesome to have you in studio.
The divine is divine.
Yes.
I was just 2 minutes away from you in gym.
Yes.
In the gym.
Yes, because I keep getting messages that you're on your way, you're here, you're coming here.
I've been here.
And I love it.
Yeah,
I will really thank.
I think I came in this exact room maybe some years
Yes,
ago.
you did. I'll tell you when. It was actually you and I again in here.
Really?
Yes, it was you and Shaggy.
Yeah, because I'm walking up to the building.
Yeah, man, it was. I actually have the pictures, Kish. It was Machel and Shaggy in studio. I don't know if it was Shaggy and friends who were promoting our.
Could have been Pandemonium.
Or Pandemonium. That was it. Pandemonium.
And that was the last time I came here with my full band and dancers.
Right.
So this 8 years ago, we coming back here again to do such a big show in We Fet at Sabina.
Yes.
It was a real miracle.
You see? And you're here. You're forward again.
Yes, I.
I'm giving thanks. Yes.
And we have approximately 1 minute remaining. So, Machel Montano, any final thoughts as it relates to the book?
Yes, the boss.
Where can people get it? Again, just remind us.
At present, you can get it at iNation, also Queer, and I'm looking to put it into Sangsters and all the other areas, but I am now doing that, finalizing it. So if you want it now, you can go online, www.machelmontano.com/shop, or you can go find iNation is at all events. It's a mobile bookshop, and Queer.
Yes.
Queer is open in the country, I think, maybe yesterday for the first time, and they are also in Kingston. And then I'm making connections with Sangsters and the other bookstores. So you'll get them right there very soon.
Awesome.
Yes.
And Machel, where can we see you perform next?
But actually, I'm leaving here and heading to the U.S. Virgin Islands at St. Thomas Carnival. I will be there on Monday the 25th to be performing, or 24th, one of those days, 25th. And I mean, it's from there we're going to be in, in
that area.
Everywhere. We're going to be in Barbados, coming close to the crop over. We're going to be in Toronto, coming close to Caribbean. And we're just doing big shows, because big soca shows for this year.
Yeah, I was in St. Thomas last year. Lovely place. They know how to party down there.
Yeah, they have very special carnivals.
Yes, definitely.
Different vibes.
Machel, thank you so much. Making
Thank
time.
you. Big up Lady Montana, and thanks for giving us the pleasure to tell people about this story, because by our stories, our future will be told. You have to learn where we're coming from.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Machel, you got that memory, boy. You got that elephant memory, man. You remember coming here. Good to see you, my brother.
Good to be here. Thank you, Bones.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much again to Elizabeth Lady Montano. Thank you for being awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
And of course,
wish you all the best.
We're pretty much out of time. I want to say a very special thanks to everyone who made the buzz possible this week. Thanks again, Machel Montano, for coming in studio. And of course, his lovely mom. We want to say thanks to our producers, Rashona Fitzhenley, Shamara Preston, Devine Stewart, and Jody Ann Dawkins.
And big up to Peter Broadback, keeping social media connected. Also want to say a big thank you to our music artist, Halonai, and a big thank you as well to Colin, that swing by and gave us the 411.
We want to say
FIP.
Right. And we want to say thanks to our technical operator, DJ Lollipop, in-studio engineer, DJ Kemar, telephone operator, Tristan Marsh, and our social media specialist, Peter Broadbent. Join us next week for another exciting edition of the EBUZZ. I'm DJ Bones.
And I'm Kishima Francis. Muta Baruka is up next with the Cutting Edge.
Respect. Every time.